Слава Україні!
Hello comrades, and welcome to MOWAS Assault Squad 2 Interwar mod. This is a video that has been a long time coming. It is a full show-off of all the assets and whatnot in the mod. I'm going to do it in several parts, or several videos. I'm doing as I usually do for most mods. I'm showing off all the vehicles first, and then another video will be uploaded showing all the factions. The reason being is that, I mean, as you can see from all the vehicles right here, it's a whole lot to cover, as well as some naval stuff. But the factions as well, there's not just like the main factions, you also have like little sub-factions for each one. You have like different volunteers, and there's just a huge amount of depth in this mod. It is crazy. And it's certainly going to be worth the wait for all of you that are wondering when it comes out. It's going to be certainly worth it. So anyway, starting on with the showing off the units, we're going to start with the naval assets here. We have the Akula Soviet, or yeah, I think Soviet or just Russian naval ship. It's a battleship, obviously. It's very old. More than likely it was taken from the old Soviet or Imperial Navy, converted to the Soviets, as many ships obviously would have been. A very cool boat. You don't see a lot of mods with many naval assets, so it'll be cool to see if this will go anywhere, if we'll have more added. Because I personally enjoy naval assets to the mod. I think it gives it a fun kind of twist. Next we have the river gunboat. This is from the American Civil War. You're probably wondering what's it doing in this mod. I don't exactly know, but that's where Colonel.Rooster will step in. He'll either mention it in the comments, or you can go to the Discord ModDB page, and you can just ask him through Steam. I don't know. Reach out to him, because he'd know. He's the creator. It's pretty awesome because not even the Born in the Fire America mod has this kind of boat yet. So pretty cool to see that. Let's see, we got some smaller boats here, just kind of like little transports, a little Soviet gunboat, a little raft transport, a little rowboat. That's it for the naval assets right now. And moving on to the aircraft, we have the Italian aircraft first. We have the CA-101. I think I'm remembering that correctly. Again, I'll be corrected by Colonel.Rooster when he sees this, or maybe by Viper if he knows when he watches, if he does. So yeah, this just seems like a basic transport kind of plane. Single turret on the top to kind of protect it. Next we have the SM-79 Series 8. This thing is like the Flying Fortress before Flying Fortresses were cool. This, like, when you looked up, this thing would be a terrifying sight to see. Especially if you lacked anti-aircraft. You were certainly dead when this guy came flying in. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome plane. As I said, basically like the precursor to the Flying Fortress. Next we have the Soviet I-16. That's a very weird, stubby aircraft. I have no idea how effective it would have actually been. I've played it in in War Thunder, and it's fun for like 1 or 2 like battles in the lower tier, but for the most part it's garbage. Next we have the Aviatik. It's a German biplane from World War I, I believe. Yeah, I don't know much about aircraft during the Interwar or World War I period. Next we have the Fokker E3, the F-O-K-K-E-R, in case you're wondering what I'm saying. It's Fokker, it's obviously that. Next we have the, let's see, the Newport. Yeah, Newport. I want to say it's the Newport. Very interesting that it has these 2 turrets here. Like, I got the tail gunner, but this one, I don't know if, like, maybe he'd stand up and shoot forward and then sit back down when the plane was behind them. Very interesting kind of little detail there. And I haven't actually used these yet. I don't know how well they actually work, or if they work at all, but it'll be cool to, if you guys give me some ideas on what to do with the aircraft. So next we have the PO-2. This is I think a Soviet plane. A very basic biplane, obviously. Doesn't have any front machine guns, just a rear turret. And I guess like a torpedo or a bomb could go there. Next we have the PZLP-2. I'm not too sure which country this plane goes to. I'd want to say like Brazil because of the color scheme, but maybe it's Italian, maybe it's Soviet. I have no idea. Next we have the Sopwith. This is a British plane, I believe. Not too sure. It's another biplane from the World War I era. And then last but not least, we have the Spad. Can't remember exactly which one it goes to, but yeah, the Spad or the Speed. Now on to the real meat of the vehicles. Well, not the meat of the vehicles, but just now to like the ground vehicles and the vehicles you'll see most often. For Italy, we have the Fiat 611 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we had the Lancia 1ZM. I believe that's the 1ZM Lancia. Very cool. These things are like very well armored, or not armored, but armed. They have little turrets in the back, so sneaking around is going to be a challenge. You have to be like very careful. Next we have the Soviet APCs. We have the BA-6 on the left-hand side. Pretty basic armored car designs. This one has a machine gun and has a T-26 turret on the top. I believe it's a T-26 turret. Looks similar enough. And then we have the BA-20. This is just a very light armored car, just for supporting infantry, I guess, in open field or close quarter combat. Can't imagine it would last long, but still. So we're moving on to the ones that don't have a specific tab, but I believe this one's a British one. It's the Crossley. It has the, I don't know what that symbol is. It's like it's a British coat of arms of some form. It's like one of the regiments. Or it's like the regiments, or maybe like the main army ensign. Again, can't be sure, but I have seen that symbol before. We have the Garford. I'm not too sure if this was maybe British or French or something, maybe Italian, I don't know. Very cool though. Most of these, as I'll keep pointing out, very well covered with machine guns. This one has like a large cannon in the back. Not sure of the millimeter. I'm not very good at spotting that kind of stuff. Next we have the Junovigs. This is, I think, an Austrian one because of the shield. It's a very homemade-like car. Kind of like you'd see like maybe like protesters or like early revolutionaries like just slap together some metal, weld it down, some machine guns. Like it's a very basic armored looking car. Doesn't look effective at all. At least like nothing heavier than something its own style. But yeah. Next we have the Skizerfast 7231. This isn't from the game, this is from the mod. So if you're worried about copyright or some kind of strike, this is part of the mod. It's not entirely his design, obviously. It's obviously very common from different mods. I think this is from the maybe Valor or maybe Norman's mod. I can't remember. But again, if you have any issues with that, then let me know. And then we have the Rumpel. It's a German armored car, or maybe Prussian. Did the Prussians have that kind of a cross? No, Germans, Iron Cross. Yep. So it's got a machine gun on the top. And then we have the sterile track or something. Seems like a very mobile truck vehicle with the tracks, but doesn't seem armored at all. Not sure why it's in the APC section, but again, there's a reason for that, and clearly I don't have much of an answer for you. So now we're on to the armored trains. We have the Polish armored trains. That can also be used as Germans. Machine guns everywhere, and these are working as well. I could place them on a track as a example later on or in another video. Find some way to use them. Pretty awesome. They have Flak 88. They got the Polish 107 gun, I think, 107mm gun. Or maybe I'm just making that up. And then this one doesn't have any turrets, or large turrets at least. It's just a bunch of basic machine guns. We're on to the Soviets train. We have the Zenit on top with the Dishka machine gun, I think is what that's pronounced. And then we have the T-26 turrets, a little bit heavier, and then we have the heaviest being the T-34 turrets. It being from the T-34 tank, it would clearly have been around, so if you're wondering, hey, why is there World War II stuff? Well, I believe it was manufactured in I believe that's what the number is for the different tanks, like 34 would have been like 1934 for the year made. And then we have this, the massive gun that I've already forgotten its name. I cannot for the life of me remember, but I believe there is going to be a mission surrounding this gun where you, I think, defend it, and then you also maybe use it as well. Pretty awesome gun, not very practical if you think about it. You'd have to have it on rails and all that all the time, but still very awesome. Can deliver a big bang. And then we have just the standard pulling cars for the trains. So we have the German one, which for some reason has Hungarian symbols. I think that's just a texture option. You can text mod it to have like German or Hungarian. So I think the default's Hungarian, but yeah, you can switch to German if you want. Then we have the Soviet one, and then we have the Tendor, the Soviet Tendor, which just holds coal. So now we're going to move on to the artillery. We are starting with the Abyssinians tab of artillery. We have the 76mm M1909. Very basic mountain kind of gun. Artillery siege, I guess, obviously. On to the Italians. We have the two 100mm. We have the VZ. I think the VZ 14, 19, or not 14. Can't remember exactly. It's like the something 19 Skoda artillery, and then the other one is just the VZ 14 Skoda. This is like the VZ 14, 19 Skoda. This is just different. You can tell by the barrel length. Alrighty, I think the sound is back. My headset disconnected there. I don't know for how long though. So if I missed out or if it cut out somewhere through there, sorry about that. Next we have the Canon 4Z32. These are like very just simple cannons. I don't know if they were ever really effective, or maybe they're just made for the mobility, because they do seem very light in terms of cannon usage. This is the Canon 6512, this little green one. And then we have the Canon 7527. And then we have the Obis 149A. I want to say that's what that is. I hope I'm in the right order there. Yeah, I think I'm in the right order. Let me double check that. Yep. So now we're on to Japan. We have the, let's see. This little tiny one is the 37mm Type 11. The Type 38 75mm. the Type 41 mountain gun. Very interesting cannon. Very small. Alright, sorry about that. That was a brief interruption. The dog was going crazy. So that's it for the Japanese artillery. For the current build, obviously. When it comes to the public, it might be updated by then. So again, this is just from my current build of the game. So now we're on to the Soviets. We have the 23B4, the CCCP. This is like a heavy mobile artillery kind of piece thing. It's like, I think the vanilla game classified it as like a heavy mortar or something. I don't know if it was actually classified as that in life, but yeah, pretty interesting. We have the 76mm F-22 artillery piece right there. Very cool. And we have the AL-9 or the A-19. Can't remember if that's an L or a 1. But yeah, pretty cool. And then we have just the standard F-22. I guess maybe it was like an older or earlier model of it. I can't be certain. And then we have the classic M37 cannon. And then we have the Su-12 truck. It's like just a mobile artillery piece on a truck, on a flatbed of a truck. Pretty cool. Don't know how effective it would have actually been, but yeah. And now we're moving on to the general set of artillery pieces. This stuff is just kind of without actual, it isn't specific to any one faction. We have the 47mm Hotchkiss. And then let's actually, no, wait, is that the? Yeah, I think that is, yeah. And then we have the 130mm 5. And then we have like the Kazamat version of it. They're both like the same caliber, but one's labeled as Kazamat and a rounded turret. It's on the ship there. Pretty interesting. And we have the 37mm 70K. So it's an anti-aircraft cannon. Clearly, it's on the it's meant to be mounted on a ship or a wall. And we have the 45mm M2K, something K. I'm actually blanking out on that one. And of course, we have another 100mm cannon, the Mini Zinni. It's interesting. And we have the other fort guns. We have Polish cannons there. We have the T-26 turret and the T-34 turret. And we're going to move on. We're going to head down to the other guns. We're going to go with the 105mm MLE 1913. The was it 10 cm Feldhaubitz cannon? Not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We have the 120mm M1997. Not 97, no. No, M1897. There we go. I was going to say 1997. What the hell? That's my year. Yeah, so we have the 155mm. Let's see. 1915, I think. It's a heavy artillery piece. The 25mm Hotchkiss. Let's see. The M30. I think this is like the M35 or M37 mountain gun or something. So we got the 76 or 75 on the left and 76 Schneider. There we go. Schneider cannons. Right here. I forgot what that one is. We have the Flak 88. This is the mobile version, so it could be wheeled out into the field and used. It's a very deadly beast of a gun. I think it's primarily made for anti-air, but was also utilized for anti-tank purposes, and I believe there's like a version of the Flak 88 that was they basically, to build the King Tiger, they built a like a chassis and like a tank turret around this kind of a cannon, and that's basically how you ended up with the Tiger tank. Let's see the 88 flat. No, wait, here we go. Yeah, the 1860s cannon. Again, not exactly sure why that's in there. You'll have to ask the Colonel.Rooster for that. I know that the Confederates were in Brazil, and if you want more info on that, you ask him, or you can Google it yourself. But very interesting unknown history there. And we got the 88 flak, the mounted, or it's like not mounted. It's like stationary. Yeah, like the stationary flak gun. Let's see, we then have the 8-centimeter filled cannon, and then we have the pack. It's like pack something, like 35 pack, 37 pack gun, and then another heavy artillery piece of some sort that has escaped my memory. And sorry again if this is sounding incorrect or if it's kind of all over the place, but yeah. That's it for the artillery pieces, field cannons and whatnot. And again, this is subject to change for the public release. Again, don't know when that is either, so don't have that exact info. You'll have to ask Colonel.Rooster. On to cars now. We have, for Italy, we have the AC-35 on the left, the Fiat 8CM on the right. And we're moving on to the Soviets. We have the Gaz-61, Gaz-61 417, and then the Gaz M1. Clearly these aren't really tactical or military kind of cars. They're just kind of civilian fun use. Maybe for like officers or like messengers and whatnot. And now we're going to move on to the machine guns. We have the Gatling wheel. The precursor of like any kind of machine gun ever. We have the next to it we have the Oerlikon, yeah. We have the 20mm Beretta. We have the 20mm Scoti, and I believe these are both Italian. Could be wrong, but I do believe that is what those are. We have the Fiat Rivali. I think on the left is the 1914 make. The right is the 1935 make. Can't remember exactly. And then here we have two different types of the M30 Browning. We have the 1914 version, and then like the 1930 version. Again, can't be certain about that. Here we have the Hotchkiss machine gun there. Can't remember if that had a number on it or not. Let's see, we got some more stuff here. We got the Brownings, the Maxim and the Brownings on the different types of stands. This is like an anti-aircraft stand, I guess. I can't remember exactly, but and we have the different type of Dishka stands. We have the Zenit, and that's what this one without the shield is the Zenit, and then this one's like the prone or like the sitting one. They're both the same machine gun. It's just obviously one you would have mounted and you'd stand to fire it. But yeah. Let's see, with the Maxim machine guns, you have the Schwarzerlos Type 33, I think. Yeah, and then oh wait, no, we have this is the Schwarzerlos, this little gray one right here, and this one is just the Type 33. That kind of messes with me when it's doesn't really have much of a name other than Type 33. So that's it for the machine guns, mounted gun emplacements and whatnot. Next we have for mortars, we have the let's see, the Brixia, the 102mm M2, the 102 Mark II howitzer, the 46 WZ-36, it's this tiny one right here. Next to it with this 5cm Granatenwerfer, and we have the 36. No, wait, Granatenwerfer 36. There we go. This is the 75mm M17. We have the, let's see, the 81 Brandt, the 82 BM37. We have the Granatenwerfer, just standard Granatenwerfer. We have the Minenwerfer, or Minewerfer. The 3-inch Stokes, the Mortar KR-H33. Let's see, and then we have the BM38, which is this large one. We have the RM38, which is this tiny one, and then the standard Stokes mortar. Alright, so I believe that's it for the mortars. Yep. If you guys want to stand up, stretch your legs or something, go ahead and do so. It's a long video. Pause, relax, I don't know. Moving on to the tanks now. So there's a lot of them here, as you can see. Starting with the Freikorps, we have the A7V. We have the, forget which one. One of these is a transport one, and then one of them's not. Unfortunately, they look exactly the same, but they do have some interesting markings that I can show actually here. Control-Alt. There we go. Pretty cool, right? Thought I'd just show that off. But yeah, I can't remember which one was the transport and which one wasn't. I guess they both can hold enough to be transports. And then we have the Buick Panzerwagen 4. One of them is the machine gun type, and then the other one has cannons. So this one has, I don't know, they both have cannons. There's a difference of some sort. I forgot which. Oh yeah, this one has the machine gun like directly on the back. This one has it only on the side. I'm sure there's more difference to it than just that, but that's all the visual difference. So that's it for the Freikorps. And then for the Italians, we have the Fiat 2000. I believe that's the Fiat 2000. I know it's a Fiat. I don't know about the number though. And next we have the M1139. And then next to it we have the MOWAS. Looks like a spaghetti meme tank. Wait, yeah, that's right. That is the spaghetti meme tank. So we have the, let's see. Back down here we have the different 13335. The 1335C. So this one has a singular large cannon, or a machine gun cannon. This one has two little Maxims, or Reveilles. Oh, pardon me there. And then we have the flame version, the 135F, which is has this flamethrower on the front. It's a machine gun too, so it's very deadly if you're not careful. I mean, it's tiny, but it's deadly. And then we have the 1640 Command tank, which is this guy, very large tank. Then we have the Ria Fiat 3000. Alright, now yeah, this is the Ria, and then this is the Fiat 3000. That's it for the Italian tanks. Pretty awesome. On to the Soviet tanks. Let's see, here we go. We got the Soviet T-35. This is like a land ship, basically. I mean, all the turrets and whatnot. It's like 1, 2, like 3 large cannons. So I think 2 of them are like T-26 turrets, or cannon mounts, or whatever. It's pretty cool there. We have the Mark B, We have the Mark IV for the Russian Socialist Federation. So clearly it's just a reskin of the British Mark IV, as a lot of World War I tanks probably were. Next we have the line of BT-7s. We have the BT-735, BT-735K, BT-737-0, BT-737-1. There's differences between each one. I don't know what, though. Maybe I'll explain it when I talk with Colonel.Rooster and I show them in a video or something, or maybe I'll just mention it before I get a battle started or something. But yeah, pretty cool. Next we have the BT-5, 1936 model, or maybe not 1936 model, but yeah, no, 1936 model. Then we have the OT-130. Is that correct? Yeah, OT-130, maybe. OT something. And we have this little one here, the T-18. We have the T-26, T-20 or T-38, T-26, 1939. The what is it? Something. Dang, I'm already losing track here. These are all T-26s of different variants. I know one of them's a like a self-destructive one they use as a bomb, a suicide bomb. It was fun having a joke with Colonel.Rooster about that. I'll be sure to show it once I figure out which one is which. But yeah, that's it for the Soviet tanks. For the United States tanks, we have the Mark 8, or like, I can't remember my Roman numerals, but it's the Liberty class. Basically a land ship. It's like a very beefed up version of the Mark IV with a extended like top part. That's it for US tanks. Here we have the Czech military tanks. We have the A4, and then we have the Panzerkampf W 35T. So not much in the Czech military, obviously. Let's see, Spanish Civil War tanks. We have the Panzer 1A, and then the two Panzer 1As. They're different variants, obviously. What was it? The Panzer 139, and then the T-26. These are like, I think this is part of the Nationalist Army. It was under the Spain tab. I can't remember exactly which one was which, but yeah. Then we have the Hungarian tanks. We have the AH-14, and then we have the AH-14 Atarani. I probably misspelled that, or mispronounced it. And then we have the 1336 here. Or 1335, not 1336. Basically an Italian tank reskinned for the Hungarian army. And then, let's see. Yep, alright. Moving on, we have the all the export models for different tanks. We have the FT-17. We have a machine gun variant and a non-machine gun variant. I can't remember some of these now that I'm looking at them. Some Chinese tanks, another Hungarian one apparently. I guess I misplaced that. But yeah, these tanks are under the export models. More T-26s, the A7. I can't remember what this one is. Very interesting. I know it's a French tank. This used for pushing down barbed wire. Pretty cool. We have the Whippet. It's a British tank, I believe. We have the British Mark IV, the standard one from World War I. We have the other Mark IV, this one with the cannons instead of the machine guns. Or no, this one has cannons all, and then this one has the machine guns. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, moving on to the trucks, we have the Italian trucks. AC something. Can't remember exactly which it was again. Darn. AC 106, it's like AC something. This one has the machine gun on the back, the cannon piece there. With the Japanese, they only have one truck. The Soviets, they have the different style of gas. They have the YAG 29K, which is a anti-aircraft, I believe, but also utilized as an anti-tank kind of truck. Pretty cool, very interesting kind of looking car. And the Gaz something. Forget the name of the machine gun on the back, but it's like it's basically just 4 Maxims all on like one trigger. It's for anti-air as well, so pretty cool. A little Russian tractor or Soviet tractor. Then we have the miscellaneous kind of trucks. We have the Ford 27. We have it's another Ford with like a Lewis gun on the back. Another Gaz. We have an ammo crate. We have I forget the name of these things. I'm blanking out on everything now because of all the different names and whatnot, but original Ford T something truck. Yeah, that's it for the vehicles. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry for the really horrible explanation of different vehicles and whatnot. I'm not knowledgeable. I just wanted to make sure I showed them all off and gave them their proper names if I could remember them. So again, hope you enjoyed, and another part containing all the infantry units will be coming. So again, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see next. Always keep your eyes peeled for the next video. Have a good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world.